The SG Child Show is back for its 13th season. Join Sarah Bradford and the SG Child Show team as they explore the world of autism and share stories of hope and inspiration. This season, we're excited to bring you more autism summits featuring experts and advocates from around the world. Go to sjchilds.org to donate and to get more information. Congratulations on 2024's 20,000 downloads and 300 episodes. Hello, we are back. Welcome to the SG Child Show. Today we have a wonderful guest, Miss Kathy O'Connell with Radiant Abilities. I'm so happy to have you here today, Kathy.
Oh, thank you. I'm delighted to be here, Sarah.
It's such a pleasure to have you here. And I'm excited to learn more about you and learn about Radiant Abilities. Introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about yourself today.
So I am a mom, a wife, and a mental health counselor with a specialty in helping people of all different disabilities to date and to make meaningful connections.
So special and so important. Everyone is looking to make a connection. And, you know, even in my old parenting episodes from season 4 or something, it feels like years ago, one thing I always say is that kids are looking for connections, not attention. They're looking for connection.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so important that we see that in people that we surround ourselves with, we're out in public with. People want to make connections. Just sometimes we just don't know how, or we don't know how to support those who, you know, are unsure of that. I love that you're doing that.
And for people in the dating scene, it can feel really scary.
Yes.
Try to make those connections.
Isn't that the truth? What made you decide to start? Tell us about Radiant Abilities and what that means and kind of how that started for you.
Well, Radiant Abilities was the name of what used to be just my private mental health practice. However, I also provide training, speaking engagements. I wrote a book. So as I began doing more in my business, we had to come up with a good name. And because I myself was born with cerebral palsy and have that lived experience of trying to get people to see my abilities versus my disability, I, with a couple friends, came up with the name Radiant Abilities to focus on shining, not to sound too corny, I know it does, but shining your abilities and what you can do and what your strengths are.
I love that. And you are, you know, living experience of that you're going through on your own. Tell us about that. Tell the listeners about your lived experience. And I think it's so special. And we can gain so much empathy, knowledge, and compassion for our communities, you know, by having wonderful Radiant Abilities speakers like yourself come in and share. So yeah, tell us about that.
So I'll share my biggest story, which is my own dating journey. and why I do what I do.
Yes.
So many years ago, when I began working as a mental health counselor, I worked at that time exclusively with people with disabilities. And I would hear over and over from people who came to me, I would love to have a partner, and there will always be, but, but I have a disability, so I can't see that for me. And at the same time, I was single and trying to figure out dating for myself. And I have always been a kind of person that I am driven by my dreams. I'm driven by the light I see for myself. And that has always been able to get me the life I wanted, whether it's learning to drive a car, going away to college, getting a job, whatever. However, I had a heck of a time figuring out dating
Mm.
because I have an obvious disability, and back then we didn't really talk about people with disabilities dating or having a love life. So I got working on it. I would go to my own therapy and work with my counselor on it. And through many trials and errors, I finally got to the point in my dating career that for me, I knew on the first date I had to bring up the issue or I would never hear from them again. So on this particular first date, I finally worked up the courage to say, "So, how are you doing with me having a disability?" And big tears welled up my inside, rolled down his face, and he whispered, "I'm so uncomfortable." And I thought, "Oh, you know what? I'm done. This is not me. It won't happen for me. That's way too painful, hard." But because I did all the work on myself, I knew that that was a good option to take. So I took a breath and I said, "Well, I have this disability that I will have for life. And here are some things that make me a good partner for someone." And that's the way I really took it. I said to him, "And I would like to get to know you. But if you can't handle that, that's okay." And we parted that night, and I did not know if I would hear from him again. But the next night, he emailed me, said, "Oh, I really don't know if I can date someone with a disability, but you're so confident in who you are. I need to get to know you." So we began to date, and for the first like 3 months, at the end of every date, I would put on my counselor hat and say, "So how are you doing now?" with me and the disability, and he would go, "Oh, I'm not sure," and then the next breath say, "So what are you doing next weekend?" And needless to say, this year we will have been married 17 years.
Oh my goodness. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. And what it did was obviously it changed my personal life, but it also changed my career because I then had the answer for how to date with a disability. And it really is about coming into your own acceptance of claiming who you are, disability and all, and doing the hard thing of facing rejection and doing it anyway.
I love that. And we have a great saying, rejection is protection. So that was never for you and you are better because of it. And I think it feels better. It really does. It feels better. You
Yeah,
think, yeah, that's true.
yeah.
I love that. That's wonderful. Oh my gosh, that's a wonderful story. And, you know, the information that we get from these types of trials and errors to be able to put it for, other individuals to help them through that work is so important because nobody knows where to start unless they do. So I think it's great to have some learning, some like first steps to take.
Right, right, exactly. And I am a great dating and relationship nerd, and I have come up with a framework of stages that one progresses through with dating, beginning with self-esteem, confidence, working up to putting oneself out there, working up to mastery in relationships. And we often think of dating as the results or the outcome you're gonna get rather than the journey.
Yeah.
And it can be quite a journey of self-discovery, your strengths, your skills, and becoming more of the person you were meant to become.
Mm.
And that's what I tend to help people with.
I love that. And I love what you said before about your own self acceptance. Because how hard is that? That is so hard for every human. I don't know, maybe not every human. I look at my daughter and I see this like person who knows herself so well. And I'm like so admire her for that. Maybe that's because that's who I wanted her to be able to be. She doesn't have to question her value or question her worth. She just is the perfect person she was here to be. And so I like to remind her of that. And I hope that others hearing that can get that idea to maybe give their kiddos, because I have teenagers and they're going to date someday and I'm going to need to have these things in place for them to be
Yeah,
able to coach them
yeah.
correctly through these ideas. And I love the self-acceptance part.
It's so powerful because when we have that, how others react to us ultimately doesn't really matter because we are secure in who we are.
Yeah.
That alone can be so helpful in dating. If I knew that in my 20s were about a heck of a lot easier than they were.
Isn't that the truth, right? Hindsight, oh boy. We
Yeah.
can change the world with hindsight.
So so in my program that I run, Dating Made Easier, which is all virtual, I love it when I have people join who are in their 20s and just getting into dating so that we can really work on their acceptance and how they define themselves.
Absolutely. And do you do like uh dating, what was it, what's the word, where they come in and do the fast little dating things like that? You do those
So
little.
I
Mhm.
I I do no matchmaking,
Okay.
and that's a principle of mine. My belief is that I don't want to be your matchmaker. I want you to be your own best matchmaker because no one knows you like you do.
Yep. I love that. And that's really powerful for people to learn how to do that, because they're probably going to find that these tools are going to help them in the dating, but they're probably going to use them for more than just that in their life moving forward. Like you said, you found that you were taking these things in dating and learning from them, but then you realized my career is also going to take some of these skills, and I can use them for that as well. I love that.
Right, right, right. So to answer your question, in my program, we do more coaching. We do workshops every month on the dating skill. We do networking so other people can get to know other people and support each other.
And it's virtual, so anyone can join.
Can join.
Love that.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. I'm going to put the website up for anybody who's watching and those who are listening, so that you know where to go to check this out. Is radiantabilities.com. radiantabilities.com, radiantabilities.com, so that you can go and check out Kathy's work that she's doing. And if you are dating or know someone who is going to be dating and would like some of these coaching tips or learn how to even start dating, I think this is a wonderful place to start. I highly recommend please going to check it out. What's coming up for you? Anything new that you might be going to work on, or just coaching, clients coming in?
Well, right now, because the program is still relatively new, we only been around for 2 years.
Okay.
They're very focused on growing the program and really solidifying the process when people get into the program so that they can identify where they're at in their dating journey and give them a roadmap about, okay, you're here, this is what might be helpful to you. So that's what we're focusing on right now.
I love that. And who doesn't need a roadmap? Whether you're typical or atypical, there is always an ease that you can get from having and kind of an outline to follow, or like you said, this roadmap or this framework of ideas. And the greatest thing is that this has already, excuse me, this has already come from trial and error. She's
Right.
saving you the error part, people, so that you can just get on with the good dating part.
Yeah, I always telling people it took me 20 years, but it doesn't need to take you 20 years to figure it out. And I will often say, even though I specialize in working with people with disabilities, the program is open to anyone dating who feels that they need that support and encouragement.
I love that. It's important too, and I think that it's so special that you are offering this for the disability community, and it's lovely, and it's part of our lives. It's a part of our lives that isn't maybe touched on or spoken about as openly as it could be, and um to get support. People think they have to just go in and do this alone. Oh, like about so many things. But you don't have to go in and do it alone. You can
Right.
reach out to people like Kathy at Radiant Abilities, where you can learn to, number one, have more self acceptance and really lead from the right foot, it sounds like.
Yeah. And actually, it's surprising, but today there are so many dating apps, so many choices. However, people are feeling more alone than ever in dating because it can be overwhelming, the choices, and because some people have so many choices, they easily swipe away possibilities.
Mm. And that's too bad, isn't it? You know, I was really lucky to meet my husband in person. You know, not through any type of virtual anything. I met him at his kitchen table and we had coffee together for 8 months before we started dating. So it was a great experience. Now we're going on 21 years in a couple weeks. Yeah. It's been fantastic. My best friend, I just can't wait to see him every single day. And it really did, our relationship really grew out of honesty, out of truth, out of acceptance for one another. And really, to be honest, he accepted so much more of me than I had accepted of myself, and he's taught me how to be more accepting of myself in this 2 decades that we've been together. And I thank him. It's such a blessing.
Right. And Sarah, when you say all that, hasn't being married, having your person improve your quality of life so much?
1,000 million trillion percent. Absolutely. Like, absolutely. I grew up as an only child of divorced parents with the idea that loneliness was my life's gift, right? And it was sad and lonely, and it was isolating, and I was also autistic and didn't know it. And you know, I had a physical difference that kept me apart from people, that was hard. And so yeah, finding that relationship that finally like clicked was, it changed everything. I was able to come into who I really am supposed to be in the world, you know? So,
Exactly.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And another piece of what I do is I work with professionals in the disability community, and what I teach to them is looking at the importance of supporting people today and have relationships, because that will probably be the most influential factor in improving their quality of life, which essentially is the what organizations want for people.
Absolutely. Right? That's what we want. And we all want to find these steps to help us. And that's why things that Kathy with Radiant Abilities are doing, these types of things are going to help our society, help our communities, help our special disability communities that should get all of this wonderful support, and really, like you said, help identify those stalling problems or little things that you're going to be able to help yourself get through. And then you're going to feel great about yourself because you're working and improving on yourself. And the great thing about that is that when you're working on yourself and improving yourself, others can see the shine. They see the radiance, they see the brightness. You summed it up perfectly. The light shines so much brighter when you are living to be your happiest self.
And people are drawn to the light, so you attract your people.
Yes,
You.
exactly. Oh, this is so wonderful. I just love that we've been able to get together today like this, and so grateful for technology. And, like you said, otherwise, like, how could we have ever met, in upstate New York and Salt Lake City?
Right.
So this is just such an honor to be able to have guests like you come and share for the ultimate goal of improving the lives of all of the people around us. And I think that it's a beautiful cause, and I wish you all the best in the company and in your own life and everything. It's so nice to get to know you.
Oh, thank you, Sarah. And like I told you before we hit record, I think you have a great show. I love the diversity in all the guests that you bring on.
Thank
It's
you.
really showing how diverse the disabled community is.
Yeah, yeah. And it's so lovely. It's just so lovely. Everywhere you look, there is something more beautiful to look at. Someone with value to add, and friends to be had.
Right, exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
love that. Well, if you are looking to make better connections in your dating life, please reach out to Kathy at radiantabilities.com. She will help you get on the right track, identify some areas that might not be working out for you that you can put a little bit more pizzazz and flair into, and just really learn how to shine your abilities so brightly. Thank you so much for your time today.
You're welcome, Sarah. And I'm gonna offer a little gift to you
Yes, thank you.
and get a download of our affirmations for dating to help build confidence and self-esteem. So we'll give you that so that you can put it in the show notes.
I love that. Thank you so much. And please do take advantage of that, listeners. Please, go and check out this website and download the information so that you can be a super dater and have some success and find that right connection.
Okay, thank you for having me on, Sarah.
It's been a pleasure, and I'm so happy to have you.